welcome to the bathroom. I'm doing another tutorial today. I'm doing a really simple kind of 3-step eye, lid crease, highlight color, a little bit of liquid liner, really simple, fresh look for spring. I'm using pinks and grays with a really simple cheek and lip combination. So if you're interested in seeing how I did this look, keep watching. Okay, let's get started. First, we're going to prime our eyes. I'm going to be using Benefit's FYI. And I'm just going to get a little bit on my finger and go ahead and prime my lid all the way up to my brown because I will be using a highlight shade in this tutorial and I want it to be super bright. Okay, first step, or second step I should say, is that I'm going to be taking this purple shimmer tone by Tarte called No No Nanette. And I'm going to be taking my eyeshadow brush from Smashbox, just a regular eyeshadow brush, getting a little bit of the product on there, and I'm going to be patting this on instead of sweeping because it's a really sheer color and I want to get a lot of color payoff from this. I think a lot of the issues with sheer shadows is that you don't get a lot of color payoff and you really kind of have to work with them. And I think every brand has their ups and downs. I think, I've seen MAC, really, really no color payoff eyeshadows. I've seen some that are really, really pigmented. I like, for this especially, because it's daytime, I really want to brighten the eye. I don't want to go too dark, but I want the color to be visible. So patting it on will help you. Load your brush up and then pat on the color and you'll really get a lot of brightness from that. Okay, so because I like to do looks that don't really comprise of more than 2 or 3 eyeshadows, I want to keep things simple for you guys because that's what we do here on Candy and Couture, right? Is we start at the bottom and work our way up. So this look is going to have 3 shadows, and the crease color that I'm going to be using is called Beauty School Dropout, also by Tarte. And it's just a matte charcoal. Sorry, it's a little old and kind of icky looking. But it's just a matte charcoal shade, and I'm going to be taking my Tarte pencil brush. Well, it's not really a pencil brush, but it's the sharpest tip that I've got, or I said sharp last time too, stiffest tip that I've got. And I'm just going to dip the tip into the color and just get a little bit on the end. I'm going to go in and just get the outer corner to kind of darken it up a little bit, give it a little more dimension, and then I'm going to bring it up into the crease. Now, because I'm putting on a little bit at a time, I may want to build this up. So we're not getting a whole heck of a lot of color payout here. So I'm going to go with a little bit more. If you're anxious on working with like darker grays and crease colors, anything that's dark I think tends to put people off when they're starting. A little bit at a time, build it up. There's no rule that says you can't add more now or later and that you can't, take it away. That's what makeup wipes are invented for, right? So get your gray on there and then go ahead and take your blending brush using a Studio Tools one from Target and go ahead and blend that in. So you're getting rid of that harsh edge and also softening up that gray color. And then you make sure your eyes are balanced, which this one's just a little more darkness on, so I'm going to add a little bit more of this. I'm going to go back into that gray a little bit on the tip, and I'm going to take it up right here on the crease where I feel like I'm missing out. Right there, and then back down just a teensy bit. And there we go. Now, if you guys are lucky enough to have like deep set eyes, you really don't need to like use a whole lot of this color because I don't really have deep set eyes at all, and so I feel like I need the darkness to kind of create more of a shadow in my eye. And there we go. I feel really good about this one. So I'm just going to take a tissue and wipe off my brush because I don't want any of that charcoal in there because I'm going to be using the same brush as for my highlighter because I don't want a whole lot of like pal color. So I'm just going to wipe off all the gray, get it nice and clean as it can be for being just used. And I'm going to go into my highlight shade, which is called, here we go, where are you? Sweet Valley High. Isn't that cute? That book just came out again. Who knew that would have a resurgence in like 2011, but it did. So this is a shimmery peach color. I'm sorry, shimmery pink color. And I'm going to be taking a little bit on my fluffy brush. Tap off the excess. Fun. And then I'm just going to sweep it right into the brow bone. Nothing too crazy. And then I'm actually going to take this into the tear duct area. Because this is a really light sheer color, I don't mind using a fluffy brush to take it down there because I like that poof at the bottom. I'm actually going to do a little bit more on this side as well. I want a lot of color. So I'm just going to work all this in. Here we go, just a little bit more. And that's it. Now, I'm going to be using a liquid liner today, and I know it's a little intimidating to use liquid liner. I'm definitely not an expert with it, but because this particular look has a lot of, sorry, put my brush away, has a lot of fallout, these shadows specifically have a lot of fallout. I'm not really too crazy about that. So I want to use the liquid liner, get it as close to the lashes as possible to kind of counteract that fallout. I'm using an e.l.f. liquid eyeliner. I got it at Target, and what I liked about this one is that the brush is like, it's stiff. It's actually like plastic, you know, or mostly plastic. So it's really strong and it's really easy to work with. Now, I've tried this before and I can't talk while I'm doing this, so I'm going to shut up for a few seconds so I can put this on. And hopefully you guys will be able to see what I'm doing. Also, I'm going to be using small dashes as opposed to like one fluid line because I'm not that comfortable with it yet. I don't want to like screw it up, so I want to just do small little dashes, and hopefully this will be a technique that'll work for you guys too. So that first line that I did is a little too faint for me, so what I'm going to do is get a little bit more product on the brush, and I'm going to go in again and just thicken it up. And bring it down just a little bit more. And so there we are, just a nice little simple black line. The next step is mascara, and you know what, sorry, I skipped something. I'm actually going to be taking my brightening pencil because I have a little bit of darkness right here and here. I want to take my brightening pencil. I'm using Eye Bright by Benefit to go in. I'm going to make, you know, I sharpened it before I used it, and I'm just going to go in. I'm actually just going to color it in right here, because I need that extra lightness because of the gray. I feel like I like to have things a lot brighter. So I'm just going to go in, and what you do is just kind of pencil it in and then smush it around so you don't like look like you have a big old line. And there we go. So it kind of lightens up that whole area. I hope you guys can see. Okay, so now that my eyes are done with my liner, my mascara, and my shadow, and my brows are taken care of, I'm actually going to move on to cheeks. And I'm going to start with a bronzer from Pout called Sunkissed, and it's just a matte or a plain shimmery kind of goldish bronzer, nothing too crazy, nothing like Pink Leopard, for example, where we had a lot of different colors. And I'm just going to do a little contouring with this and give myself a little, you know, kind of glow look here. This is a really nice one to have, actually, if you're looking for a bronzer and you can find Pout. And I don't know necessarily that they're still available in the US. I think they may just be overseas. I'm not positive. But I will put all the products down below so you guys don't have to worry about any of that right now. So you just got a little bit of that bronzer action there. And then I'm actually going into a product I haven't used in a while, but I thought I would crack out for today. And it's Benefit's Georgia. And I didn't want to do pink cheeks because of pink eyes. And I think some, you know, I think some gurus are more equipped to handle it than I am. I'm not. So Georgia is actually just a peach color. It's actually appropriately named it. It smells like a peach. It's actually really cool. It's got a little bit of shimmer on it. So I'm going to put this on my e.l.f. blush brush. That's what it looks like, and I'm just going to put that right here. Get a little smile going and get that on. There we go. And right here on the other side to match. So it doesn't do a whole heck of a lot. I mean, there's not a lot of color payoff, but it kind of gives you a really nice peachy glow. And I think it lightens it up, so it's a nice contrast to all of that brown that we put on with the bronzer. Next step, we're going to be using High Beam. As always, I will always use High Beam in every tutorial until I find a better highlighter, which I don't think exists, quite frankly. And I'm going to take a little bit on the brush and dot, 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 and see if I need maybe a little bit more here, just to kind of lighten things up, because I did use a dark shadow and I'm a little paranoid about dark, and I really like to look bright at all times. So I don't want to go too far away from my normal look, but I'm just going to be rubbing this in down the bridge of my nose here and kind of making that little V shape, actually. And what that kind of does is kind of brings up the whole area. And so there we go. So now I have my glow on and I feel a little better. Everything's very pretty. I'm very excited. And last, I'm going to be doing lips, and I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm using Benefit's PosieTint. You would swear this video was sponsored by Tarte and Benefit. No, and I'm not cool enough to be sponsored by anyone. But this PosieTint, and it's a lip stain and cheek stain. So you can use, this is really good for traveling if you want like one product to do both things. This is really good. So it's got a nail polish style applicator, kind of like High Beam does. And I just take a little bit and just pop it on my lips. And this is a great one for spring now. If you're not familiar with PosieTint, you may be familiar with Benetint, which is PosieTint's kind of darker rose sister. And I like Benetint in the winter, but I prefer PosieTint in the spring and summer. And it's almost 100 degrees today, so I think it definitely qualifies as summer. The summer is here in the valley. Put a little bit more because it's a stain, and it looks really scary coming out. You're like, oh my god, that's freaking neon pink. But as you can see, it's really sheer, and it really, really kind of disappears. So you do need to kind of layer it on. Don't worry about it. Just keep putting it on. Don't be shy. And what I'm doing is I really want to build up this color because, first of all, I like the staying power of it. And second of all, I'm going to be using a clear gloss over top. So we're getting like that, I don't know, baby pink kind of without looking too cheesy kind of color. Definitely not necessarily a natural pink, but a fun pink. And so now that that's kind, you can feel it kind of like absorbing into your lips, and it's all good. Now I'm taking MAC's Dazzle Glass in Sugar Rimmed. This is, man, this is like a holy Jesus Dazzle color. I freaking love this. I found this at the MAC store in Vegas, and I've been since in love with it. It's absolutely beautiful. And Sugar Rimmed is absolutely the perfect name because when I put this on my lips, it really looks like a random martini glass. So it's really cool. So I'm just going to use my brush and kind of just put that on. And there we go. And it's so pretty. And there we go. That's my final look. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. If you have any questions, comments, or requests, you can leave them below. Send me a message. Hit me up on Facebook. That'd be great. And also, if you're interested in fashion and beauty and more on the picture side of things, I do have a fashion blog. It's candyandcouture.tumblr.com. I'll put a link to that in the bottom as well. Really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.